Well, hey everybody, it's 3 p.m. and it's time for dinner with Nanny Bubby. So happy to be here. So happy to be back. I had a miss yesterday, but that's okay. Today we are making what I'm calling baby shower vegetable frittata. And we're going to have a question and answer segment because I need to wait for this test kitchen to bake a little bit. Hey, Lene, nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining me today. I need to have some time for this to bake, so I thought it would be really fun if we had a bit of a question and answer. I have so much to tell you, so much to catch you up on. So let's just get started so I can get this in the oven, and then we'll come back and I'm going to tell you all about some wonderful fun things that are happening, some of the fun things that happened last weekend, some of the things that are coming up this weekend. And so it's going to be great. So I have, if you can see here, let me just move this over a little bit. Move you in. I have diced up in 1.5 inch this red onion. So I'm just going to put this right here on this cookie sheet or sheet pan, if you will. I think that's a better word for it. And I did this before you got here, so I'd be able to get it into the oven. So the key to this is you're going to start baking all of these vegetables, getting them into the oven and getting them a little baked off and crisp prior to putting them into the frittata. Now, normally I make my frittata in a cast iron fry pan, a beautiful one that I have, but I'm using this at a baby shower, or serving this, if you will, at a baby shower on Saturday morning, and there's about 15 to 18 women, and one fry pan did not seem to be enough to me. So what I thought about doing is making 2 cast iron fry pans, because I do have 2. But then it dawned on me, hey there, Sue Rainish, then it dawned on me that I have this beautiful, beautiful casserole pan. I've already, hey Dominic, nice to see you here, Dominic Kachi. That is just beautiful. It's Michael Aram. It's just got beautiful hardware around it. It's lovely. And I thought, what if instead of making it in the saute pan, I actually make it into this baking dish, and there will be more. So the reason that I'm testing it today is that I need to know, will just this recipe be enough in that big baking dish, or will I need to either 1.5 times or double? So that's what we're testing today. Hey, Frank Sully, nice to see you. Everybody's finding us and coming in. Dominic Kachi's here. Hey, thanks, Dominic, so much. Sue Rainish is here. Anytime she can be here, it's always a pleasure, as well as Lene. So yesterday, as you know, I've been remodeling my house, and my bathroom, which I'm going to show you when it's finished. It actually was finished a month ago, sadly. And of course, it's my powder room, and it's absolutely gorgeous. And we discovered last week that there was a plumbing leak, and the plumbing leak in that sink warped all of the wood, and we cannot get the granite anymore. I'm heartsick about it because it was leather finished granite. It was absolutely gorgeous. But we have to tear out that bathroom, and what happened is I can't find the granite anymore, and I'm having this baby shower for 18 women on Saturday, so I absolutely have to have a powder room. And yesterday I got the call that they could not find my granite anywhere, and I needed to go and pick an alternative, which I was resisting because I don't want an alternative. I want what I had picked before. Well, unfortunately, you always don't get what you ask for. Sometimes you get something better, but I'm not sure if I did or not. But anyway, bottom line, we picked another granite, and I had to leave yesterday at 2 o'clock to go do that because we are on a tight timeline of getting this powder room finished, because I have nowhere for these women to go to the ladies' room on Saturday if I don't get this repaired. And everybody is just so lovely, and all of my contractors and everybody are working overtime. The plumber has been very gracious about paying for what kind of went wrong on their watch with the plumbing, and I've just been heartsick. So even though Last night I had this fabulous salmon made with the tomatoes I pulled out of my garden on Saturday, which we're going to talk about in just a minute. I had to literally just jump up and go run to the marble store and find marble that we would be able to get delivered by today, fabricated by tomorrow, and into the powder room, which is a feat in of itself. But as I said, everybody's been so gracious and so lovely helping me work through this. So I apologize to all of you because I had to leave all of you behind yesterday as a result of that. But you understand, I have to have a powder room for people to go to on Saturday afternoon. So, okay, I would love to see when you are finished. Yes, I'm going to do this whole thing. And I'm going to do, hey, Bobby Robbins is here as well. Anae is watching. Sue says, do you need any help? Just let me know. You're so sweet. So this is what we're doing. We've got one red pepper here, one yellow pepper. We've got a red onion. The peppers are diced in 1 inch, the onion in 1.5 inch. I'm going to use the Mediterranean herb flavored olive oil. Not infused, but definitely flavored. I'm going to sprinkle that on and sprinkle a little bit of salt and pepper. Here we go. So let's do some salt. And oh, I forgot the zucchini. I knew this looked a little thin. Okay, let's do this. If you can remember, on Friday I made all those meatballs for my Sukkot party. And after I was done with you making all of those meatballs, I realized that I had left the garlic out. And I was just like, oh no. I got so busy talking and doing everything, and I actually had to throw all that meat back in the bowl, and I put in the garlic, and I am so glad that I did, because at some point here, I'm going to tell you all about how fabulous those meatballs were on Saturday night. I mean, they truly were the best meatballs anybody's ever had. They're the best meatballs I have ever had. So, okay, we're doing 1 inch slices on this zucchini. We're going to get ready to place it in. This parchment is now in my way. I only had the parchment there for the onions and the garlic so that they didn't stain with the taste onto the cutting board. So, okay, right into the sheet pan with the zucchini. This really gives it great flavor. Kind of cut them lengthwise in thirds. There we go. So now you know why I was not there yesterday. And we are going to follow this recipe through all the way to the end, because I need to test to see if the if the baking dish works as well as the cast iron saute pan. So, okay, we're going to, there we go. This looks like a lot of wonderful vegetables, clean hands, chef's best tools. I think we already put some salt in here. Maybe I'll just put a little more just for safekeeping, and some fresh ground pepper, which I always do right when I'm baking and cooking. So here we go. Let's toss all of this. Now, I want to tell you something I discovered when I was doing the party on Saturday night. I had a couple different things going in the oven, one in the top oven and one in the bottom oven. And what I said was, how am I going to time these two different things? So what I did is I went to my watch, and I hope that my phone doesn't go off, and I said, hey Siri, set my vegetable time for 15 minutes. Let's see what happens. Oh, she said I didn't get that. Can I try again? Okay. Hey Siri. Oh, Siri. She's just not working, but it sure worked on Saturday night. Hey Siri, set my vegetable time for 15 minutes. Oh, not working. But hey Siri, set my vegetable timer for 15 minutes. So she's starting. Let me get this in the oven. Sorry to put you through that. That was a fiasco, right? Okay. So what happened is I set one timer and put the name in vegetable timer 15 minutes. And then 10 or 15 minutes later, I needed another timer for 25 minutes. So I called it sauce timer, so that when one rang, it actually read out vegetable or sauce timer. And so I knew which one I was working with. So if you've got 2 or 3 different things that you are timing at the same time, they go in at the same time. I had to have one at 15 minutes, one at 25 minutes, one at, another time. And once you, with Siri and your watch, named it, then the time goes off and you know exactly what it says. So that was really amazing to have this to be able to go off and, with the item. Because when you've got 15 people in the house, you get a little bit nervous about what you're doing, what you're not doing. And I, at one point, would have forgotten what the timers were for. But luckily, I did name them, and it really benefits. So if you have an Apple Watch, or even your phone, you could say the same thing to the phone. Say, hey, set my roast timer for an hour and 25 minutes or something, and then all the different timers go off as you set them. So it's really a help. So that's a benefit. I just wanted to give you that tip. I'd never done that before, and I was really grateful that I figured it out. So I just want to tell you, I got the biggest surprise of my life on Saturday. One of our viewers, Lucy Insulaco, who I knew 40 years ago and hadn't seen in 40 years, was passing through town, and she said she had a gift for me. So the really beautiful thing is that she came to my house and I got to see her, and you've all seen her. She made, I can't remember what it was that she made with us. I think she barbecued. It was during our barbecue summer tournament. And she came to the house, and her niece, I will show you this first, her niece made this fabulous little sign for me. She's an artist. Let me get that. And it says, Nanny, Bubby, spread love like butter. And so it's just a cute little something that I can hang in the kitchen or hang outside by the barbecue or something like that. It's just really cute, and I love it. So this was really sweet of her niece to make for me. Whoops, I'm falling. And then Lucy, who works with wood, made this beautiful charcuterie board for me. This is hand done, hand sanded. She even gave me a little bit of sandpaper and oil to rub on this to keep it really nice and slick. I used it on Saturday night because Sukkot is, and some of us, very ceremonial. So we had our challah bread on top of this. We had our candles on it. We had our glass of wine to do blessings on. And I just thought this represented just, you don't know how old trees are, but trees are ancient. And for many, many years, they were used for serving and for eating off of. And it really, even though I have a really modern looking charcuterie board, it just, this with the ceremonial items on it was just perfect. So I just wanted to give a shout out to Lucy. Can you guys all, I know, right? Can you all give me a thumbs up for Lucy on this? It's really quite beautiful, and I loved it. It was just gorgeous. Really brought tears to my eyes, and I will cherish it forever. So thank you so much, Lucy. It's so great. So, I can smell the vegetables starting to roast. It smells so good, the onions and everything else. So we're going to let those roast for about 15 minutes. Hey, Arlene Wiesner, so happy to have you. Thanks for being here. We're making vegetable frittata. This is for the baby shower on Saturday. As you know, I'm doing the beef tenderloin, which I've tested in the sous vide, and you were here for that with Tanya. And weeks ago, I was doing the baby shower béarnaise sauce with the tarragon. I'm just praying that I can find tarragon on Thursday when I go grocery shopping. And now I am testing the vegetable frittata because I want to be able to put the frittata in this beautiful baking dish. There's going to be 15 to 18 women here, and my cast iron frying pan is just not enough. It's not big enough to make either 1.5 times this recipe or 2 times this recipe. So I'm testing the single recipe to see just how much this fills up, and it's easier to cut. You know, it's a square pan, so I'm able to cut, you know, like 3-inch square pieces of frittata and probably get 15 to 18 pieces, whereas in the vegetable frittata pan, in the saute cast iron pan, it's round, it's harder to cut, and so I just wanted to experiment with this. So that's what we're doing. So what we're going to do now is we are going to take a dozen eggs in 1 cup of half and half here, and let me just put this up. When the buzzer rings, we're going to bring out the vegetables and toss them, and we're going to put the garlic on them and put them back in. We just don't want our garlic to burn. If it was in for the full 30 minutes, the garlic would burn, and nobody likes the taste of burnt garlic. So that's why we're going to do another 15 minutes of that. And I just want to ask all of you, so we're putting together a fabulous, oh, I'm missing my whisk. Where is the whisk? Let me check here. We are putting together a fabulous idea for a contest again. Of course, Wisconsin cheese is probably going to be coming back here very, very soon. So we'll have that. But beyond Wisconsin cheese, so we're going to put in a dozen eggs to 1 cup of half and half. But beyond that, let me just ask you not what ideas, we're coming up with the ideas and we're going to get your feedback on it, and we can always adjust it. But I wanted to make this a question and answer time because we're going to have so much time to sort of burn, if you will, no pun intended, while we wait for the vegetables to cook, and then when I put this back in the oven for the whole thing to cook. So if you guys are there, I just wanted to know if any of you had any question and answers that you wanted to ask of me. Oftentimes I spend all the time talking, but I wanted to give you an opportunity to actually chat and to come up with a few questions. So if you have any, and if you're all still there, go ahead and ask your questions. And in the meanwhile, I have these eggs. We're putting in a dozen. It's going rather fast. We're going to whip these up. And of course, you know, if you ever drop eggshells into the egg carton or into the mixture, you always use an eggshell, the bigger eggshell, to get it out. Otherwise, you can't quite grab hold of it. So there we go. I'm going to put this together and drop this in the garbage. So let's see. Arlene Wiesner says, I'm having some difficulty hearing you and my volume is on high. Is everybody having the same issue? I've got my AirPods on, and sometimes that is a problem. Let me turn it up. There we go. Does that sound better, Arlene? Is that better? Tell me if it sounds better. So I'm going to mix up these eggs. Just give me a thumbs up if it's better, and if it's not, I'll just take off my headset and I'll go ahead. And sometimes, for whatever reason, they just don't connect. So somebody tell me how it's sounding, and I can adjust. Nope, not better. All right, off go the AirPods. Hold on just a minute. Okay, how's that? Does that sound better? So maybe my cell phone. Well, I don't know if it's your cell phone or if it's my AirPods. We'll soon find out, but nonetheless, my AirPods are off. So tell me what you're finding. Is it better or is it worse? If it's or is it the same? So we'll know in just a minute. Hey, Randy Christensen, how are you? Better, thanks. Good. Taking those AirPods off really helped. So we have taken all dozen eggs and we have used a whisk. Sometimes there's just one egg yolk that doesn't go, and so they are. So who's got questions? Let's see. Frank, a little better. Okay, well, I don't know what the problem is today, guys. You never know. Some days it works and some days it doesn't. And I'm always grateful when you're here regardless. So I've come to just accept that some days it works and some days it doesn't. So now we're going to take a half or a quarter of a cup, if you will, of freshly grated Parmesan cheese, which I grated on Saturday night for our fabulous to-go party. So let me tell you, those meatballs, those of you who were here on Friday with me when I was making them, were just over the top. They were so good. I was so proud of them. I can't even tell you. I served them with a marinara sauce over the top, and then I made a pomodoro sauce, and the pomodoro sauce was on the meatballs, or not on the meatballs, on the penne pasta, and it was just so, so, so good. Really was. Okay, so this is all mixed, and I'm thinking this timer should be going off any minute. Let me see. I actually don't know how to check a timer on my watch, interestingly enough, but I'm thinking that it's probably going to go off any minute. So I'm going to grab some pot holders, and I can't talk to you because I don't have the AirPods on, and I will bring this over here, and we're just going to add the garlic to it real quick, toss it around with a wooden spoon, and then get it right back into the oven. So let's see. You worked so hard on those meatballs. Great. They came out yummy. Yes. I mean, even when I had to throw them back in the bowl and put the garlic in them, but I'm really glad I did, because the garlic with that flavor just, I mean, if I had just said, oh my God, I'm not going to forget the garlic, I'll just sprinkle them with garlic powder. I mean, I just am tortured to think about how horrible that would have been. So, okay, hold on 1 second. Let me grab the pot holders here. 1 minute. Okay, look at these. Don't these look fabulous? Nice. And I'll just set them right on top of here. This is the baking pan that I'm going to use. Hey there, Joanne and Dawn. So nice to see you. So we're going to take, let me grab this garlic. I'm sorry that I missed you guys yesterday. I saw that you posted, Joanne, so thank you so much for that. I had a flood in my bathroom, and I've got a big party on Saturday with this baby shower, and they have to tear my newly remodeled bathroom up. Take out the granite. I had to replace the granite, and yesterday they realized that they could not find my old granite, and I had to go out and pick new granite, and it had to be delivered today and fabricated by tomorrow. So I just, for the first time ever, I just had to jump up and get out and go. So I'm so sorry I missed yesterday, but now you know why I wasn't here. So, okay, so we mix that again, and we're going to take this and we're going to put it back in the oven for 15 minutes. That way the garlic did not burn. So what I am going to do is, this recipe actually calls for the scallions to be sauteed at the bottom of the pan. And when it's sauteed at the bottom of the pan, what it does is crisps up, and it makes the bottom of the pan in butter get really, really hot. Then you pour the vegetables in, and then pour the eggs on top. And so my thought is about how to do this is to literally, let me get this off to the side. I'm going to take a tablespoon and a half of butter, and I'm going to, this is unsalted butter, and I'm going to maybe put in about 2 tablespoons. And I'm going to put that right in the bottom of the baking dish right here. And then I'm going to take the scallions along with the green parts, and I'm going to cut them up in small pieces, just like this. You guys can see that, right? And then I'm going to put them on the bottom. And what I'm going to do with this is, while we're chatting just a minute, there we go, 15 minutes is done. Okay. Hey Siri, set my vegetable alarm for 12 minutes.
Your vegetable alarm is set for 3:37 p.m.
There we go. Okay, so we're back on track. And I'm going to put this into the oven and let it get really, really, really hot. And I think that's why the recipe calls for you to put all the eggs in and everything so that the pan gets really hot and starts to cook the eggs at the bottom before you put it back in the oven. So I thought about how I could make this pan hot enough to do that. I don't want to put this beautiful white baking dish on a stove and put fire under it. I just don't think it's made for that. So I literally am going to take this. There we go, all the green parts, looks beautiful. I'm gonna put Gruyere cheese on the top of this at the end. So let's just take this for just a minute. Let me get this butter melted and get nice and hot in a 425-degree oven. And I actually think for the party, I would put it back in and let it get nice and hot at about 500 and then turn it down to 350. But let's get started just with this. So I am singeing my eyelashes when I get into the oven that hot. So who's got questions? Anybody have questions? Meanwhile, I'm just going to read through this 20 to 30 minutes until puffed and set in the middle, sprinkle with the Gruyere, and so that's it. Whisk together the eggs, half and half, Parmesan, a teaspoon salt, and a half teaspoon pepper. So let's do that. I haven't done that. And I think as that starts heating up and getting nice and hot, as I pour in the egg mixture, it will be really, I think it'll work really good. Hey Lisa, nice to see you. So I'm making a vegetable frittata, Lisa. Thank you for asking for baby shower. This is more the baby shower experiment test kitchen. But as I explained, I always make it in my cast iron saute pan or frying pan. It makes a beautiful presentation. But for 15 to 18 women, you can't really cut in that round pan. So I'm using the baking dish from my Michael Aram set here, and I've got it in the oven right now with butter in it, heating up really, really nice. I have my egg mixture ready to go. I'm going to give it about 10 minutes, I think, to heat up, and then I'm going to put the scallions in and put it back into the oven to heat up, get nice and hot, pour the egg mixture in, and then put everything back into the oven. So I'm killing time here because I'd really like for all of us to be able to see an entire dish get made from start to finish. So it means that you can ask any questions you would like, because I'm hanging on here waiting for there to be questions, because I'm not sure. After coming every day, it's almost been a year. October 22nd will be a year. And thanks, Lisa. I kind of like it too, but I'm curious about the pan, because I know this fits perfectly on the cast iron frying pan. The question is this baking dish so large that I'm going to need to 1.5 times the recipe or 2 times the recipe? And I have no problem with that. But if I were going to 2 times the recipe, I was going to have to use 2 frying pans for all those women, because it really only serves about 8, right? I'm going to have 18, but I figured if I can get it in the baking dish, I would be able to actually cut it in regular squares. So I'm just experimenting. We'll see. This is just 1 times the recipe, and we'll see if it's kind of skimpy or if it actually rises up to the top. And frequently it does puff up, but we'll just see. If I give it more room to puff up, will it puff up more than normal? So that's what the test is all about, and I think I'll be able to judge whether to go 1.5, well, 1, 1.5, or 2 times. So anyway, Any questions? I will tell you that on Sunday, I'll drop this bomb on everybody. So give me a thumbs up if you know of or love. I understand he is very well loved. Nate Burkus. Anybody a Nate Burkus fan out there in Nanny Bubby land? Anybody? Hey, Randy Marvin, nice to see you. And also, while you're thinking that, give me thumbs up. These are the tomatoes that all the kids pulled off the vine for me on Saturday. And I made one mistake because I served a lot of tomatoes. Okay, Arlene's a big, Lisa is a big Nate Burkus fan. Anybody else? I see thumbs up coming on the side, but I can't tell who they are. I should have served these tomatoes for dinner, just minutes off the vine, because I had a lot. I mean, I had a lot. I had pancetta, tomato, and endive salad. So, and I also had the ricotta, fresh homemade ricotta with the tomatoes, and I could have used all these tomatoes. And I went out and bought tomatoes first, and it would have been so much more fun if they had seen that I was using the tomatoes we just picked. So next year, that's what I will do. Okay, so, all right, Lisa says, oh, stop those tomatoes. Okay, so, all right, are you ready, guys? I am interviewing for Jewish Nevada on Sunday at a luncheon event, Nate Burkus, and I'm so excited about it. I actually know his mother, but I've never met him. But it just seems to me like everybody that or I get invited somewhere for Sunday, or somebody says something, and I happen to mention him, and the overwhelming response has been, oh my God, I love him. You have to tell him I love him. And that sentence is said by 10 or 20 or 30 people every time I mention it. Now I just mention it just to see if the response is the same. And everybody has the same response. So finally today I said, well, what do you love about him? And honestly, I think they actually, there's just a feeling that people have about loving him. It's either they just can feel his soul from the inside out, they are impressed with his style. They love his style. I have a girlfriend in New Jersey who has said, hey there, Romy, I'm so happy you're here talking about it. That's so great. I'm glad you're going to be there. And it's just really amazing. So I've been asked to interview him, which I'm really happy to do. Hey, Paula, nice to see you. And so it should be a really interesting afternoon. We're going to talk about how he got started, where his inspiration came from. His mom is an interior designer. That's what she did while he was growing up. And so he learned a lot of, was used to seeing wallpaper books and drapery books and carpet books and everything. So we're going to talk about where he came from and how his inspiration came. We're going to talk about his career and how do you at 24 years old end up on the Oprah show and start your own design business, and how did that happen for him? Then we're going to talk about the fact, and you may or may not remember this about him, but that he found himself in the Sri Lanka tsunami in 2004 and lost his partner and almost lost his own life. So we're going to, both of them were thrown into the waves, and how Nate survived is a treacherous story to listen to, but nonetheless, he did survive, and he has a lot to be grateful for. Hey, Susan, nice to see you. So hold on, let me pull this pan out before the butter burns. Okay. Whoa. So I've got the butter bubbling here. Hold on just a minute. And without burning myself here, hold on, let me get all of these scallions right into here. Nothing like hot butter popping up in the face. Good afternoon, Susie. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining us. I love that all of you come and join us every day. So happy to have you here. Okay, so I'm going to put these scallions in, and then I'm going to take this and put it back in the oven. There we go. Okay, let's use our wooden spoon. So the point is, the recipe would normally call for you to saute these scallions in in the cast iron saute pan or a frying pan, and then pour the eggs in, and then let the pan get really hot. But what I'm going to do is heat this pan up really hot in the oven, and then pull it out, put the rest of the vegetables in it, and pour the eggs on top. So stand by for just a minute while I open up this oven. There we go. Okay, and let me see, I think it says to 3 or 4 minutes. Heat for 1 minute. So that'll be done in just a minute, and we'll bring them out. We'll bring the vegetables out, which I think I'll bring out first. And I'm going to move this because we're not going to put it in this beautiful Michael Aram case or carrying side until we get ready to serve it. I am serving it tonight for dinner. I was really excited to say to Tom, hey, do you want a vegetable frittata tonight for dinner? And he said, okay, why that? And so, you know, everybody in this household actually gets to do test kitchens. You know, when we did the sous vide tenderloin, it was phenomenal. I do want to say this. I did not like the taste of the duck fat. And so I literally, okay, there we go. The vegetables are done. Let me pull those out really fast. And hold on, everybody. Hold on. Okay. Let me just move the eggs over. I'm going to put this here. There we go. And I think here we go. Okay, so here we go. All right, so we're going to take all these vegetables and we're going to move them right into this really hot dish and hope that it does not lose any steam here. Scallions at the bottom. We'll chop up some chives at the top of the dish. Go all in. Okay, so if you can see, there's really a nice level of all of this in here. And the pan is really, really hot because through and through, because this is kind of a cast iron dish as it is. And now we're going to take the egg mixture, which again is half and half, Parmesan cheese and eggs. And I'm going to go ahead and just put it in. And this really filled up nicely. So let me show you. I mean, I might be able to get away with one recipe instead of 1.5 or 2. So let me just show you how full that is. There we go. Can you see that? It looks really grand. I'm going to open up the oven and let's get this back in, and we're going to give it 25 minutes, so stand by. Yep, the eggs are already starting. There we go. Okay, so I can see it does look like the perfect size. Yep, I noticed that it really filled up nicely, and it really does puff up really, really high. So let's do this. Hey Siri, set my timer for 25 minutes. There we go. Okay, so she's listening finally, right? So there we go. So I'm here and I have 25 minutes to kill. Arlene said I got here a bit late. What vegetables are you putting in? Okay, so it is zucchini, red pepper, yellow pepper, red onion. 15 minutes in the oven with olive oil. I use this Mediterranean olive oil, Mediterranean flavored olive oil. And I put that into the oven for 15 minutes. And then I brought it out, put the garlic in, 2 cloves of garlic minced, and tossed that in with it. You don't want to put the garlic in when you put the vegetables in, because if the garlic is in too long, it starts to burn, and nobody wants to taste burnt garlic. There's nothing good about that. And then we brought it out, put the scallions in, and got that pan really nice and hot. And by the way, I could tell when I put the pan into the oven, the eggs moved slightly, and I could see that. What I was worried about is that sometimes with the fry pan, you turn the heat up really high so that the bottom cooks on that pan. But because that was really nice and hot, as the eggs shifted a little bit, I could see that the eggs had started to cook to the bottom. So this is a very, very, very good sign. I'm very happy to see that, so we'll see how it goes from there. So normally this calls for about a cup of Gruyere cheese over the top, and then you put it back in and broil it for just a minute so it gets nice and brown. And so we'll see what happens. So one of the other things that we're making, and you'll probably see me doing this because I have to cut up the kale on Friday for the kale salad, as I'm probably going to be chopping up the kale and making the salad dressing for the kale, which is absolutely amazing. We make it with maple syrup, we make it with apple cider vinegar, I make it with the blood orange olive oil, which I don't even want to say any more about how delicious. Just imagine the blood orange olive oil, fresh blood orange olive oil, along with the apple cider vinegar and the maple syrup. It's just over the top. It's just over the top. So you'll probably see me doing that on Friday. On Thursday, I will not be here because the Channel 8 segments have shifted from Fridays to Thursday, because Friday is always a tailgate party now going on there, and they already are doing tailgate party food with a chef from around town. And so I moved to Thursday, which actually this week works out really well because I have to be cooking for that baby shower on Friday, so I'm very excited. Saturday, and then on Sunday, it's going to be a beautiful baby shower. I'll take pictures. How many of you saw the pictures of the Sukkot party on Saturday night? It was really lovely. Their table was decorated beautifully. I know Lene asked about it, and the kids had so much fun. It was just really beautiful. So it was a lovely evening. I do have to say I was pretty much exhausted. Yes, I was pretty much exhausted, but it was definitely worth every piece of work and every thought that went into everything. So with that, let's see, what about tomorrow? I will be here tomorrow. I definitely will be here tomorrow. I don't know what I'm making tomorrow, but I will figure it out, right? Yes, it was gorgeous. Thank you so much. Backyard is looking beautiful. It, thank goodness, is complete. Everything that needs to be there is actually there. The seat covers came for the bar stools. The countertop also had to be replaced 3 times. I got bad countertop juju going on. I don't know what it is. But yeah, that was replaced 3 times, but it's gorgeous now. So the backyard is basically done. I don't think I'm waiting for one other thing on this backyard. It is done. And we put chairs, and actually, let me just kind of, if you'd like, while we're waiting for the buzzer to go, I'll just kind of take you on a tour. Let me unplug you, and I'll just take you out there. How about that? Let me turn you around here. So what you might not have noticed, so this is the bar area right here. This is the outdoor kitchen, and these are the new seat covers that came for the bar stools. They were on order and they just got finished. And so the furniture that we have for outside actually is movable, and it is currently got seat covers on it because I just didn't want the birds to actually, while it's out under the patio, from under the patio, I didn't want the birds to actually, do anything to the beautiful fabric. But you can see this fabric in the middle. This apparently blew off in the wind, so let me pick it up so that no birds soil this. There we go. We'll cover it back up. There we go. Okay, so that's back on now. And this is the garden right here. I just love how this works, this little fountain right here. And then we move the other 2 chairs, so 3 chairs are here, and then there's 2 chairs right here outside of our bedroom. And of course they're covered as well. But for Saturday, we didn't put these chairs, normally we would put these chairs right here in the oval in front of the garden. But because the kids were going to be picking these tomatoes, we didn't put anything in this center area right over here. So we'll probably take these 2 chairs and move them over here. And then, hey Teresa, there you are. And then we take this little bistro table here and put it right in front of the doors. I love this little item that my daughter gave me for Mother's Day a couple years ago, which has the flowers growing on the wall, and I just love this. And so there we go. So maybe on Monday when this gets all put back together, I'll show you what the furniture actually looks like. And just for a tour through the garden, so these are the cucumbers, and the cucumbers have aphids, and I'm just trying to get them to last until the baby shower on Saturday. This is where those huge cucumbers came from, and I ordered 300 ladybugs, and I am so unhappy that we didn't take a picture of me letting 300 ladybugs out on these cucumber plants to eat the aphids, but it looks like they've been doing a good job. I just need this plant to last until Saturday, and then we're going to pull it. And right here, that is a mushroom. Can you believe that? That right there, as ugly as it looks, is actually a mushroom. And that mushroom says that my soil is in perfect health, which I would have thought that that meant that my soil had issues, but it doesn't. And then the kids planted these lettuces. There we go. And this is butter lettuce over here. I'm waiting for the kale to come in so I can plant kale, which we're going to be, I'm losing a signal, that's what's called. Okay. These are sweet potato plants. So let me get close. I'm losing the Wi-Fi out here. I apologize. So if you're seeing me go black for just a minute. So we're back. Anyway, let's get back into the house here. This is the pool. And we're just waiting. Thank you so much, Arlene. And so we're just waiting. So as you can see, this area is very light, very airy. And so the kitchen, when I remodel, which I hope to start in January, is going to go from this brown wood to more contemporary and white. So let me just turn you around. I can smell this. There we go. There we go. All right. So that's a tour of the garden. And I'm just waiting. I guess we have to wait 25 minutes. I'm just not sure how much longer. Let me take a peek at them and let me see how it is going. Yep. So it's coming up. I actually think that what I'm going to do is show it to you, but I actually think, and I'm pretty sure you'll agree with me, that 1.5 times the recipe will probably just kind of bring it up to the top and allow it to just kind of puff over the top, which will just kind of make it really big and really quite beautiful. So let me just take you over there, and let me just turn this over. Okay, are you ready? Let me just take you right into the oven. How about that? So, you see that? So, how many of you think I just think it just went up halfway. So I really think that if I take this recipe and 1.5 times it, that it will be perfect. It will go up just a little bit over the top. If some of the bottom sticks to it, I think we'll be okay. So I think that's what we're going to do. All right, everybody. I don't want to make you wait here until that buzzer goes off. Yes, 1.5. Thanks, Lene. You're so sweet. Alrighty, my friends, I think we're going to say goodbye. Thank you for joining us. Thanks for hanging in there with me. I just wanted to spend extra time with you since I so unexpectedly had to leave yesterday. that the countertop was delivered today. They're fabricating it today. They may even come tomorrow and start installing. The plumber is coming tomorrow to disconnect the sink. And so hopefully everything will turn out beautifully for the party on Saturday. But on, let's see, not Thursday, because I won't be here on Thursday. You have to watch me online on Channel 8. But on Friday when I'm cooking, I'm going to be very excited to take you and show you the bathroom and the finished bathroom. The artwork is coming on Friday, and Tom Meyer will be here, and we're going to be setting the table out there, and so it's going to be just lovely as all get out. So anyway, that's it for me today. I just want to thank Lucy again for the fabulous Nanny Bubby Spread Love Like Butter. Let me just show you that. This was made by her niece, and she brought this, of course, the way, and I turn the camera, you see it backwards, but then also this beautiful charcuterie board that she made for me, just so beautiful. So that was, yes, and I will have tons of fun with Nate. He seems like he will be a fun guy. So I'm looking forward to it. So that's it for me today. Thanks so much. I think we made a good decision. Everybody, 1.5 times this recipe is going to be perfect for 15 to 18 women. Oh, let me tell you what else I'm making. I have lox and bagels being delivered. So if that doesn't fill them up, I don't know why I need any other food. But it's still me. So kale salad, lox and bagels, the vegetable frittata, and the beef tenderloin with baby chardonnay sauce. How's that? Too much food? Of course it is, but I mean, isn't this what we do? Always too much food. That's it for me, everybody. Thanks so much for joining me on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Go out and spread love like butter. Thanks, everybody.